Hi and welcome to our first podcast. My name's Ed and I work for Sporting Communities. We're a community interest company who specialises in different youth services from coaching, mentors and family support. We're a training academy and deliver a range of different qualifications and also play services. Over the next coming weeks, we have a series of different podcasts around mental health and really just tips on staying positive and answering any questions that you might have on your mind or that might be troubling you. So today I'm joined with Mim and James. They're going to do a quick introduction, bit of background about themselves and how they're feeling about the current situation.
Hi, I'm James. Introduce myself. So I've been working with Sporting Communities now for just over a year and a half. Absolutely love going to do the sessions with the kids and everything like that. And unfortunately, at the minute, with the current situation, we're all locked indoors. So we feel your pain because we are too. I do feel quite positive about the situation myself. I'm trying to make the most of my time. I'm going out running. I don't think I've ever been this fit in my life. So that's one positive that has come out of it. And other than that, I'm just trying to stay positive and make sure that I'm setting myself daily goals.
It's fantastic. Cheers, James. And Mim?
Hi, my name's Mim. I've been working for Sporting Communities for just under a year now. Sort of going out into the general public, engaging with young people, and just touch on what James said. Obviously, we're all struggling at the minute a little bit with being stuck inside. So we're just trying to make the best of a rubbish situation, really, a bit of a silver lining, which is why we've decided to do this podcast.
Brilliant. Thanks, Mim. So today we've got a few questions that have either been asked to us over the past week or so while everyone's been stuck indoors, or ones that we've just come up with and think would be beneficial for you guys to hear and hear us discuss and see what outcomes we decide. So the first question is, I'm struggling to motivate myself to do my schoolwork. What do you suggest?
So I think one of the things that we can definitely do, which I've definitely been doing in my days, I'll be honest, I'm not the kind of person that likes to sit around. I like to be doing stuff constantly. So what I've been trying to do is set myself routines. That's anything from what time I get up in the morning, what time I have lunch, what time I have my evening meal, what time I go to bed. And it's just trying to limit the things that I would normally limit. So I try not to spend too much time watching TV, try not to spend too much time on my laptop looking at social media and the news and bits like that. It's just trying to make sure that you're in your normal routine, even though you can't be. So if you were a kid who's going to school, it's making sure that you plan your lesson times, making sure that you're taking regular breaks, and just making sure that you're keeping healthy through that.
Cheers, James. Mim?
In terms of sort of keeping a school routine, stay motivated, I'd say is quite important. So rather than sort of sitting on your sofa and doing your schoolwork, I'd sit sort of at a dining room table if you've got access to one. And potentially if you're getting a sort of a bit stuffy and fed up of being stuck inside, sit outside and do some schoolwork. That's what I've been doing. Myself, I'm at university and I find that really helpful in doing my work, sort of getting some air, taking regular breaks, making sure that you allow time for sort of food and drink. Just keeping that normal routine. And also don't burn out. So when it gets to sort of the end of your school day, turn your laptop off, put your work down, do not overwork yourself, which I think is a key point.
Yeah, I think that's a couple of really good points really there. And I think that applies to people who are not just at school, but working from home as well. I think to add to that as well, one really good point would be setting yourself a goal each day to either just do, even if it's a tiny bit of work, if you're feeling really a bit down or demotivated, just set one tiny little goal that you can achieve, that you know you can achieve, and then you'll feel better about yourself after you've done that. And if that's all you feel like doing, you know you've done that one task. So yeah, some really good points there.
One other little thing just to add, is just that to reassure everyone, we're all feeling the same. So we're all having them days where we get up out of bed and we just think, oh my God, not again today. But by setting them goals, like you say, by doing them small tasks, however small it may be or big it may be, actually, that's what's going to get you out of bed. That's what's going to get you motivated, and that's what's going to keep you healthy. So it's really important to do that.
Yeah, I agree. And especially in the last few days when the weather's been really nice, normally we really love it, but to get up and see the sun shining and not be able to go out, but it is important to remember that you are allowed that one daily exercise to get out, and even if it's just in your garden, if you're lucky enough to have one, get out in the garden as much as you can, especially if the sun's shining while it is. Question number 2 is, I'm really worried about not being able to see my family and friends. What can I do? Mim, do you want to start us off on this one?
Yeah, so I think sort of in the time that we're really lucky that we do have social media and FaceTime. So utilising that as much as possible, really. Sort of staying in touch with family. I know it's not the same, but we're lucky that we do have access to those technologies. And it might be a nice idea as well to sort of plan things in advance for when we are able to see each other. So give yourself something to look forward to in doing with those people. And I think that could be quite a positive for a lot of people. That's what I've been doing. It might be a nice idea as well. Sort of if there's something that you're missing doing, making a nice jar so you can put sort of ideas of what you're missing in that jar, so that when lockdown's over, you can sort of fish around in that jar and pull things out, and you can do that on different days. So it's sort of like making a bit of a game out of it as well, adding a bit of fun, sort of rubbish situation.
Yeah, sounds, definitely something I've been doing. For all the kids that are missing playing a bit of sport and going out on the park, playing some football, definitely it's one thing to organise maybe a football match when everything's back to normal, or if you're organising, I don't know, a get together of some sort, then yeah, definitely. I love that, Mim. Cheers. James?
So the main thing I've been doing really with my family, I've been FaceTiming every day. So I don't obviously live with either of my parents, so FaceTiming them every single day just to check in on how they are. I think it's really important to actually be able to see the person and hear them, and sometimes just to get things off your chest. If you are having a bit of a rubbish day, they can be the ones that will pick you up. I have also been FaceTiming my nana, which has been an experiment, I'm not going to lie. She's not the best with technology. So when she answers the phone, all you can ever see is her forehead. It takes about 10 minutes to get the phone actually so that we can actually see her. But that's always something to celebrate when it happens. So that's been really nice. And with her living by herself, I think that company that we can give to her, even for that 5 to 10 minutes while you're on the phone, that's priceless. So she's absolutely loving that.
Yeah.
It's just checking in on everyone. I think, again, we're all in this together. So if you are having a good day, don't feel like, well, you know what, I won't ring anyone today because I feel fine. Check in on them because they might not feel as fine as you do. So just think about everyone else in this kind of situation, and then bad days that you are having, just think someone else might be having that bad day today. So give them a call, just check in on them, and actually you'll feel better yourself as well.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with that. And to follow on from that as well, there's no reason why you can't have bigger get-togethers on FaceTime, and now there's a few different apps, and there's obviously Zoom and House Party that people are getting together, especially the struggle at the weekends. I think people are particularly bored. What they're doing is doing family quizzes, and everyone together is logging in to all have a bit of a get-together. It's not just a one-to-one, it's a bit of a FaceTime party. So yeah, brilliant points there, guys. Is there anything else you want to add?
I was just going to say as well, it was my dad's birthday the other day, so we organised a group FaceTime in the morning just to sing happy birthday to him. So there was no cake, unfortunately, but singing happy birthday, I think, was enough. He said it made his day. So little gestures like that can go a long way.
Yeah, them little wins, yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Time as well, it can be a positive in the sense that it makes us appreciate the smaller things more, like a FaceTime and just a simple morning, how are you? And I think sort of as a generation, it's going to make us a lot more appreciative of the things that we do have. So I think there could be some really good outcomes out of this. So it's about focusing on those positives.
Yeah, I think them people that you wouldn't normally miss, you're starting to miss, and you can't wait to see them now. So yeah. Right, cheers for that, guys. So the next question is going to be, I keep seeing and reading different advice online. How do I know what to trust?
So my advice with this is quite simple, really, and it is just to follow what the government are telling you. I think we all know from scrolling through Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and everything else that goes along with it. everybody seems to become an expert on these kind of things at these times. Everyone has their own opinion, and everyone wants to put out conspiracy theories and everything like that. I think it's really important just listen to the advice that's being given and follow that. It's very easy to get into a habit of looking every hour, every half an hour at what's going on, and it's not healthy because it just makes your mind constantly on that. Try to switch off from it. Try to switch off from social media. Try not to be watching the news every minute of every day, because actually it will put you in a negative mindset, and you just will not be able to cope with it.
Yeah, no, brilliant point there. Mim?
I couldn't agree more with what James is saying there. I think it's really important to stay informed and listen to the government advice, but at the same time, don't sort of swamp yourself in it. Have that time away, because it is easy to sort of slip into that bad mood and feeling not so good about than you were before reading those things. So I think it's really important to sort of switch off and do things you enjoy, as well as sort of becoming consumed in that. So yeah, I agree with James there.
Yeah, I think finding that balance of the two, so making sure that you are following the guidelines and staying safe, but also trying to find the little wins out of it. So like you've already mentioned about the social media, the FaceTiming, so it's not all doom and gloom. It's, you know, there's a lot of positives to be taken out of this still. Also, I'd probably add the NHS website. They've got a lot of useful things on there as well. Right then, the next question. I'm finding myself losing my daily routine. This is a big one then. So how can I maintain this? I think we've already touched on a couple of points, but do you want to add anything else?
Yeah, so I think sort of going back to keeping that routine, even if it's just sort of looking forward to a 15-minute yoga session in the afternoon, or baking a cake, or it could be anything that you enjoy. Set times throughout the day to do those things so that you have got something to look forward to, and it is still a routine in place. You know what time you've got things happening, and do you know what I mean? So that the days don't just sort of slip away from you and you've got nothing that you've actually done or achieved or look forward to in that day. So I think it's just really important to remain positive and do the things that you enjoy doing, to maintain a bit of structure.
Yeah, definitely. James, what do you think?
Yeah, just touching on from that. So, I mean, we've been going through all of our clothes in the house. So we decided just to go through absolutely everything that we own and see when was the last time I wore it? Do I still need this or anything like that? And then what we're going to do once we're allowed out and everything like that again, we're going to take any clothes that we no longer wear and give them to a charity, just so that we're trying to give something back at the same time as well. There was, I can't even tell you how many pairs of shoes in this house that me and my missus don't wear anymore. So the charity, I hope, will be happy when we take them down to them. The mail look at has gone out when we get out of the car with about 10 bags full of stuff, but it's all going to a good cause. So hopefully they'll appreciate that when it does arrive.
Yeah.
I think as well at this time, it's a really good opportunity to sort of pick up new hobbies and things that you might not have tried before. So I know that I used to play the guitar and I've not picked it up for a while. So I've taken the time to think, actually, I'm going to pick it back up again. So it's things that you might sort of not do as much anymore that you want to get back into, or something completely new. It's really good to sort of take the opportunity to do those things. I mean, it's something you can carry on with as well after lockdown. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. The whole lockdown has opened up a new set of opportunities for people to take on while they're stuck at home. But no, some great points. I think it's, as well, the question about struggling to motivate myself to do schoolwork or your job ties in with that, about keeping a daily routine. So things that we've mentioned about setting yourself a goal and sticking with trying to normalize your routine that you had before. So setting a plan out for the day, getting up at a normal time, still getting changed, or all really key points to try and keep that daily routine and not lose track of. I think we've all woke up on a Wednesday and thought it was a Sunday and different bits, but what do you think to that, guys?
Yeah, just one thing to just add to that as well. I know for the first week when it was all kind of getting to a point in this country where it was starting to get serious, I was struggling to sleep each night. I would wake up in the morning, I'd probably only had a couple of hours sleep. And I'll be honest, I was watching the news quite regularly. I was on my phone right up until I went to bed. So what we've now decided is that in the house, we're not going on phones for an hour before we go to bed. We're not watching news for at least a couple of hours before we go to bed. And we're just trying to do something a little bit more relaxing, whether that be just have a conversation with each other, whether that be read a book, something that'll relax your mind so that when you do go to bed, you can actually get a proper night's sleep. Because there's nothing worse than you wake up in the morning, you've not really slept properly, and the motivation already isn't there for the day. So I think that getting to bed at right time is absolutely key, but also it's making sure that you're in the right state of mind when you do go to bed.
Yeah, I think that's really important to have that wind down time. And just touching on that as well, so sort of when we are having our downtime, don't go up into your bedroom straight away to go and chill out, because then your sleep space becomes your downtime space, and it's sort of not as easy to get sleep at night. So it's about separating those two, so that when you go up to bed, it's bedtime and you associate that space with sleep. Which I know it's easy when you've got your games consoles in your room and your televisions, but I think it's really important to try and sort of stay away from that until it is time to go to bed and go to sleep, else you're not going to get that good night's sleep that you need.
Yeah, no, both really good points. And I think sleep is something that we're going to talk about in future podcasts as well, because I think it's a really important one, and you've just touched on some really good points there. I think this week then that wraps up the podcast. I hope we've answered a few of your questions. And again, if you have any other points you want to add or questions, please just leave them in a comment underneath the podcast, and we'll be sure to make sure we answer them in the future podcasts to come. James, Mim, do you want to add anything finally before we leave?
I'll just want to add one final point. Sorry, Mim. It's just to say that for anyone out there who is struggling and feels like you don't have anyone to talk to, there are groups like Childline and Coof, which you can get in touch with. They are always answering their phone lines. You can always just message over Messenger and bits like that. So if you feel like you have no one to speak to, there is someone out there that will speak to you and will put you in a better mindset. So just use them services that are available if you don't feel like you've got that support around you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree. For anyone wanting to talk or needing a chat or just feeling a bit lonely, there are great services out there. So sporting communities do have a new Facebook page as well, so please give us a like. We've got new content being posted regularly now. We've got workout videos, other podcasts, blogs and daily challenges. We also do have a new supporting communities page where we'll have staff online every day for a chat. So please come online and talk to them. Share any worries or concerns. Just search SC Sup and drop them a message. That's our new supporting communities page. Our sporting communities page will keep you informed each morning to when there will be staff online. So keep looking at that and checking when the staff are going to be on. So until next time, thank you, James and Mim, and thank you for listening, James and Mim. And
thank you.